Hi, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a really good day. I finished my workout early and just heading to work. And so I'm going to just answer a question that came into my DM last night. So this question comes from Lee Yu-jung, Miss Lee Yu-jung. And her question was, what are your top Korean drama that has impressed you? That's a great question. Well, actually, I'm impressed with most Korean dramas. I don't have a certain genre that I stick to. I like watching everything when I have time. I don't like how episodes come out each week. So what I do is I binge watch. Before it was on Vicky, or now it's on Netflix. But I do that. I just binge watch. And they're very good. They're work in the States. Some of them work internationally, but the actress and actors here in Korea are pretty good. And you can go anywhere from war movies, or war drama, to history, maybe a romance. There's some tearjerkers out there. I don't like watching them, especially with my wife. Every time I watch a tearjerker movie, that scene comes up and everybody in the movie is crying, or in the TV drama is crying, and you know, it's hot in the house. My eyes are sweating, so I just rub it off, and then she goes, "Hey, are you crying?" So I don't watch that many TV shows with her because she always asks that question. So I have some honorable mentions that I would like to say before I get into it. Secret Garden, Winter Sonata, Stranger, and The Lover. They came out in 2012. So you can have the amnesia in the drama, and then something miraculous happens and families are reunited. But I really like the sense that good versus evil, good overcomes wrong, and by the time the end of the episodes, the 16 episodes happen, relationships are mended, and it's a better life for most of the characters in the drama. So I'm going to get at this. The first one, there's lots of these too. So it's an amnesia girl. She's rich before she has amnesia. And anyway, she gets amnesia, and it's payback time. So it's kind of one of my favorites. So the actors, main actors here is Han Yoo-sol, Oh Ji-ho, Kim Sung-min, and Park Han-byul. And the plot goes, Anna Jo is a rude, spoiled, arrogant, and impossible to please American-bred heiress. She returns from Korea only to continue being a controlling wife to her husband, a cowardly husband, it says, Billy Park. And when her yacht gets stuck for repairs, she hires a local handyman, Jang Chol-soo, one of my favorite characters, to fix her shower. But when they have a heated spat over her dissatisfaction with his work and refuses to pay, she pushes him overboard and dunks his tools in the ocean right along with him. So later, after a quarrel with Billy that threatens to end their marriage, she herself gets drunkenly pitched overboard and falls victim to a bad case of amnesia. So in the hospital, she ends up beside the guy that she pushed into the water, and they're both recovering. Well, he sees her. And then it just plays out where now she's getting a taste of her own medicine. And every time I watch this, I always want to eat jjajangmyeon, because they eat that a lot in the drama. But they do, she changes over time. And yes, at first he takes advantage of her memory loss, and he desperately needs a nanny, but she does change. So that was one of my favorites that came out. Another one that I liked was When the Camellia Blooms. And I got to tell you, when I came down to the last 2 episodes, because I binge watched it, I didn't want to continue watching it. In fact, I waited like 2 weeks, and then some of my family members said, "Watch it, you'll like it." But again, it turns out well. There's a murder in this drama, and it's a romance as well. And the reason why I stopped watching it at the 14th episode was because the 2 main characters were not going to be together anymore, and so I didn't like that. And he's such a nice guy. Who couldn't fall in love with him and stick by him? So some of the characters here: Gong Hyojin, Kang Hanul, Kim Ji-suk, Song Dan-bi, and Kim Kang-hoon. And I really like how they did the set. It's out in just a small community, and the cop is trying to. He actually wasn't a cop, but he becomes a cop, and he just has natural instincts to get the bad guy. So the story. So here's the story. The story of Oh Dong-baek, single mother, who moves to the fictional town of Ongsan and opens a bar called Camilia. 6 years later, Dong-baek meets the playful Young-suk, who declares his love for her. And he's a little weird, but I like him. And Dong-baek does not reciprocate his love, which was I didn't like. But Young-suk persists in wooing her. When Young-suk's mother finds out about this, she strongly opposes it. And Dong-baek is a single mother with a son. Despite Dong-baek's past lover and father of her child trying to win her back, Young-suk eventually gets Dong-baek to fall in love with him. Meanwhile, a notorious killer sets out to claim Dong-baek as his next victim, and Young-suk protects her fiercely, doing his job as a policeman and figuring out who the killer is. And it was funny during the drama because mother and son were talking about the same girl. The mother befriended her and didn't know her son liked her. And so I thought it was pretty cool. And in the end, everything worked out, and I was happy. This next drama that I like, and I binge watched it on Netflix, is called Itaewon. And one of the reasons why I wanted to watch it was because I lived in Seoul for about 7 years, and I knew the area. So I just wanted to see how it was, or where it was shot at, and if I knew or seen anything very familiar to me. So there's a lot of cast in here, so I'm just going to get at it. So Park Seo-joon as Park Sori, proprietor of Dambang, a bar restaurant in Itaewon, and you can actually see that bar today. In his youth, Seirori gets expelled for punching CEO Jang's son, Jinwon, which he deserved it. He was a knucklehead, and who was bullying a classmate, and becomes bereaved when his father is killed by Jungwon's reckless driving. Angered by the loss, he attacks Jungwon, leading to his 3-year imprisonment. And then following in his father's footsteps, Soyori opens his bar restaurant in Dambam in Itaewon, 7 years after he is released from jail, with an aim of expanding into a franchise. So I like his desire, his passion. He said he's going to do something, and he did it. Kim Dan-mi, as Jo Yi-so, became the manager of Soyori's bar restaurant in Dambam. Yi-so is a multi-talented, intelligent girl with an IQ of 162. She moves from New York to continue her studies in South Korea, and she's also a famous social media media blogger and internet celebrity. She has a crush on Sayori, and she offers to become the manager, and which he accepts. So Yo Jae-myung as Daehee, CEO of the food company Janga Group, I dislike. I really dislike. So I'm going to skip over him. But he's the rich franchise who wants to defeat this young guy, and he wants to put him out of business. He wants to basically just wipe him from the face of the earth. Kwan Nara as Osuya. She's the head of strategic planning for that company, Janga Group. Soyuri's former classmate and first love. So this all pans out. You think halfway through it that he's gonna continue seeing his first love, but it doesn't work out that way. He actually falls in love with the manager, and it was really cool watching the drama because I could see everything around, and it looked very familiar. And I was like, wow, I walked that place. I know exactly where that's at. But this drama was, the young man getting his revenge and becoming franchise and taking over the food industry and just making a name for himself. I like it. Hope you guys like it. But yeah, those are my dramas. So thank you for the questions. Shout out to Miss Lee Yujung for coming up with the question. I do watch it on a closed caption. My Korean is not as good as before, but I'm trying. So, as always, live well, love well, peace. Have a great day. So stay tuned. The next video is going to be about baking. I got a DM request asking me to bake some cookies, so I'm going to do that. Peace.